The Arctic weather has us bundling and snuggling up. But what about those without a place to find warmth? I'm Melissa Ring. See how a local homeless shelter is providing protection to those that call the streets their home.
And I'm Mike Lucas. It was an overwhelming yes in the vote to raise minimum wage throughout the state. So what does this mean for working families making less than $9 an hour? These stories and more on this edition of the Omaha News.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
This warm weather we've had this fall has left homeless shelters scrambling for donations. Omaha's Open Door mission is preparing to deliver a record 5,000 turkeys to people in need this Thanksgiving. Reporter Kirby Bridges has more on this story.
For a lot of people, it's hard to wake up in the morning and smile and stuff if you're hungry or you got to worry about something or your kids.
Emerson Jackson brings smiles all over Omaha by playing music. He lets listeners who donate money leave their signature on his guitar. And he says maybe one day he'll donate it back to the Open Door mission. In his line of work, it's the weather that makes a livelihood possible. He's been lucky with high temperatures this fall, but that's changing as the weather shifts this week.
If it's nice outside and my hands don't get cold, I'll play.
But the above average temps haven't all been good.
So our donations are really down right now because of the warm weather, but yet our services are up.
President and CEO Candace Gregory has seen an 18% rise in shelter services for the year.
Because of the warm weather reaching all the way into November, people have yet to go into their own closets for things like coats, hats, and gloves. But the Open Door mission is still in need of these winter amenities. There are already 40 women and children sleeping on mats on the floor at the Lydia House. And no one is ever turned away, but with this week's Arctic blast, that amount is expected to get even higher.
We are very concerned about the cold weather hitting us really quickly and people not thinking about us.
Candace implores everyone to do something.
But there's something for everyone. You're never really too young or too old to make a difference.
For the Omaha News, I'm Kirby Bridges.
Whether it's giving food, clothes, or your time, every donation is valuable. To find out how you can give back, go to opendoormission.org and click on Volunteer. This Saturday marks the second enrollment period for the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, also known by its unofficial name, Obamacare. Consumers can now window shop for health policies sold on the federal exchange, healthcare.gov. With this tool, consumers can browse through the different policies available and get details on prices and coverage options. According to the government website, there are 5 things consumers should know about Marketplace open enrollment. First, 2015 open enrollment ends February 15th, but you must enroll by December 15th. If you don't enroll in a health care plan by February 15th, the only way you can get health insurance for next year is through the Marketplace, is if you qualify for special enrollment period for those interested in applying for Medicaid or the Children's Health Insurance Program. These products are available at any time of the year. Finally, you can preview 2015 health plans and estimated prices before you apply. To check out the products and policies available to you, visit the healthcare website at healthcare.gov.
Initiative 425 was passed, raising the minimum wage throughout the state, and we here at the Omaha News will bring you the people that it affects.
Starting in 2015, minimum wage is going to increase to $8 an hour and increase again in 2016 to $9 an hour. A local worker named Wesla Potts will be benefiting from Initiative 425 as she moves her life forward.
Okay, I'm a mother of 3 and I just recently enrolled at Metro Community College, finished my first trimester with straight A's. It's very helpful to have extra money.
One of the key supporters in passing this new Initiative 425 was State Senator Jeremy Nordquist.
It's important because we have so many working families, probably about 100,000 working families who are making less than $9 an hour. And these are people who are putting in 40, 50 hours a week, but are going home with a paycheck that doesn't give them enough to just afford the basics of life.
The basics being food, housing, and transportation. Education can also be an expense for people similar to Wesla.
I struggle to make needs, pay my bills.
Especially with Christmas on its way.
It's hard to get Christmas presents. You have to apply for, extra help.
Initiative 425 should make living easier for the people of Nebraska. For the Omaha News, this has been Thomas Clark.
The initiative was based on the plan used in Alaska and other states. With more money to spend, 425 should boost Omaha's economy. In a statement released Monday, President Barack Obama asked the Federal Communications Commission to answer the call of almost 4 million public comments and implement the strongest possible rules to protect net neutrality. More simply put, this is the principle that internet service providers should enable access to all content and applications regardless of the source, without favoring or blocking particular products or websites. Shortly after the president's statement, FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler acknowledged the statement and made a promise that the FCC is working hard to ensure the job is done correctly and once and for all, in order to successfully protect consumers and innovators online.
Well, Mike, it appears that 22.9% of Omaha residents won't be affected by the FCC ruling either way. Director of the Digital Access Advocacy Group, Connect Your Community 2.0, Bill Callahan, pulled numbers from the U.S. Census Bureau to find the best and worst connected major American cities. More than a quarter of households in the U.S. don't have a computer with an internet connection, according to the Census Bureau. In terms of connectivity, the U.S. lags behind other wealthy countries that consider internet access a public good. A report released last month by the New America Foundation's Open Technology Institute details that internet connection in American cities is slower and pricier compared to other places in the world. Coming up after the break, they're considered man's best friend. So why are some cities banning them from their homes?
We take a walk into the home of a Des Moines area dog owner who says he would be lost without his pet. Stay tuned.
PBS is the place you should go first.
There are no advertisers to be satisfied, only an audience to be satisfied.
We take our responsibility as journalists very seriously. We are constantly thinking about our viewers and what they care about.
We want to let you know what the information is, and then you decide what you want to think.
At the News Hour, we are after the facts and only the facts.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
UNO TV invites you to take a journey around the world, to lush jungles with endangered species, to exotic lands and different cultures, to lost cities beneath the sands. Travel through time to see ancient secrets on the other side of the world, the growth of the American West, or the start of Nebraska's largest city. Or just explore our state, find out about Nebraska in World War II, learn how Omaha has grown since, discover the effort to renovate its green spaces, the history of one of its most impressive buildings, or look at its internationally recognized university. For over 20 years, UNO TV has produced award-winning documentaries that explore, educate, and enlighten. To find out more, call 402-554-2516 or visit unotv.unomaha.edu.
You are watching the Omaha News.
When you adopt a pet, you adopt a new member of your family. But what happens when you find out your family member could be taken away?
My landlord told me one day that I could lose my dog because another resident had felt uneasy about me having a pit bull.
Chris Reister adopted a pit bull in 2013, but the laws of Iowa have the authority
to take them away.
Unfortunately, Iowa has specific breed laws for pit bull and pit bull mixes.
The Iowa breed-specific legislation says any dog that looks like a pit can be removed from the state. A law that states that Chris...
I can't think of not owning Nigel anymore. I really can't.
Could lose his best friend.
He's my roommate, basically. I look forward to coming home to see him every day.
Now, even though the Iowa laws are stacked up against this not-so-little guy, fortunately, there is a way around the system.
Derek Honore of Kai's Obedience Dog Training has a loophole to Iowa's law. He awards a Canine Good Citizen certificate at the end of his course, giving bully breeds a legal reason to stay and putting stigmas to rest.
The program is meant to show and meant to separate your positive members of the canine community, basically. This test is meant to show that your dog can go through just about anything and be okay with it.
Chris says the training is worth every penny and hopes Iowa's restrictions on pit bulls will eventually change.
Look at the entire population of pit bulls, not just ones that have been trained to be aggressive. What about the ones that have been trained to be lovable and caring and great family dogs?
This is a canine good citizen. He's a positive member of the canine community.
Each city and every state has bully breed ordinances. Make sure to check your city for ordinance laws. For more information on Kai's dog obedience training, visit kaisobedience.webs.com. The Nebraska Humane Society is also doing what it can to help man's best friend. This year, the Humane Society received a record number of transfer dogs from surrounding cities, such as Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. The dogs were transferred from previous shelters in an effort to give them a second chance at life. If you are interested in becoming a transfer volunteer or you would like to adopt a lovable pet, visit the website listed below or call the Humane Society at 402-444-7800.
When most people think of college sports, they tend to think of the big four: baseball, basketball, football, and volleyball. There is one sport that is often overlooked and is facing termination. That sport is equestrian riding. Omaha News reporter J.R. Cantor has more.
Rising trot, please, rising trot.
It kind of stinks that other young ladies going to K-State won't have that opportunity.
The National Collegiate Athletic Association has decided to remove all equestrian teams in its 3 divisions. The NCAA allowed 10 years for 40 schools to adopt the sport, but only 23 have. One Division I school has already decided to end its program. Kansas State told its student athletes and equestrian alumni that their program would disband after the 2015-2016 season. Shanda Maddox, who rode at K-State, says that she couldn't believe that this was happening.
Like as a whole, though, I'm disappointed the decision was made, especially as an alumni from the team, because my college experience would not have been what it was. Honestly, I can't even picture my college experience without it.
Even though Maddox has since graduated from K-State, she is still involved with the equestrian sport by coaching at Colby Community College in Colby, Kansas. Colby is a member of the Intercollegiate Horse Show Association, which doesn't fall under the same guidelines as the NCAA. Maddox said this decision will actually help with recruiting for Colby in the areas in which they were struggling with.
In the NCAA world, they only recruit open-level riders, so that's the highest level of collegiate riding. And that's an area that we struggle to recruit because most of those young ladies want to go ride for a university that they can get a bachelor's degree paid for.
Jade Cruz, who is a current rider at Colby, says she can't wait to see what kind of new recruits Colby will pick up.
Being a Kansas native, it really does kind of pull a tag, but other than that, I'm really glad that Colby will get the bonus from that. However, I feel bad for the girls that don't get to go there. So,
rid of the program, the IHSA is more than willing to accept them. Reporting for the Omaha News, I'm J.R. Cantor.
Besides K-State, some of the other schools that could be losing their equestrian teams are Auburn, Oklahoma State, and South Dakota State University. If the NCAA decides to discontinue the equestrian program, that will become effective on August 1st. They're moving on up in the polls and flying high this season.
Coming up, we speak with 2 Maverick hockey players and find out how they are preparing to skate through this season.
KVNO was in a really interesting place. This Victorian mansion near UNO.
3 floors. The studios were on the 3rd floor.
Bedrooms and bathrooms. So we had a challenge, but we ultimately ended up with an on-air studio.
We soundproofed it with carpet, and actually I think it sounded really warm, very radio friendly.
There were also rumors that the 3rd floor was haunted. Those were the maid's chambers, as we were told.
I had a sink in the office and leaded glass windows which looked out on the stable house in the back.
One colleague talking about having the window open one day, a warm spring or fall day, and a squirrel jumping through the window onto a turntable.
It was a great place, a great ambiance for a fine arts station.
It definitely had a charm to it.
But about how you're feeling right now. One thing you would like our viewers to know about this state.
The importance of volunteerism.
What are you saying to folks?
I'm here to discuss these images.
When you can take that knowledge and that expertise and that passion in terms that they're all going to understand.
They need to know the real stories.
I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join us for Consider This each week on NET1.
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
You're watching the Omaha News.
The UNO hockey team recently achieved its best rankings in weekly hockey polls in nearly 2 years. Team members say that there's a lot of hard work behind that ranking.
You know what? It's just going to be another hard-fought, competitive year. Our conference is extremely competitive. We got some of the top teams in the country in our conference that we get to play on a weekly basis. So expect to be entertained and expect it to be a close finish heading into playoffs.
Some of us, we play soccer. We play this game called sewer ball. So you keep it up as much as you can. You try and get guys out. Other than that, guys have their own little rituals.
For me, I keep it pretty quiet, do a lot of visualization, and just stick to my routines really of keeping my mind right, body right to feel good for the game.
To be the only hockey team, it means a lot. We take a lot of pride.
It's a great experience. It's certainly an honor. A predominantly football-dominated state with the Huskers. To have a strong hockey program in a nationally recognized conference is certainly something to be proud of. So couldn't ask for a better experience here.
If you've missed out on the action thus far, you're not too late to get in on the excitement. The Mavericks will play their next game on Friday, November 21st. For the full schedule, visit UNO Athletics page at www.omavs.com.
It's the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, and unfortunately, there is no cure. Alzheimer's disease is a form of dementia that mainly affects people at age 65 and older. However, up to 5% of people with the disease have early onset Alzheimer's, which often appears when someone is in their 40s or 50s. The University of Nebraska Medical Center is participating in a new National Alzheimer's Disease clinical research study entitled NOBLE. The trial is evaluating an investigational drug, T817MA, which may have the potential to modify the pace of the disease in those who are currently suffering with mild to moderate Alzheimer's. For more information on NOBLE study, please visit the website listed below or email noblestudy@mslgroup.com.
UNMC will open its outdoor ice skating rink on November 28th and will remain open through January 31st. This year, the Ronald McDonald Benefit Skate, Freezin' for a Reason, will take place December 6th with a skate-a-thon for Parkinson's set for January 23rd and 24th. For more information on skating rink and its events, please contact Candace Petler at 402-559-5192. After the break, it's no surprise that it's cold outside.
We check in with a local park that is making it a priority to keep their kids active through the winter. Stay with us.
something new.
Or reach beyond.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
When you want to peer inside.
There's something wrong here. This isn't normal.
Will it seem almost impossible? Or push the limit?
Large tornado! It's humongous! You need to get out now!
When you want to dive deep.
These divers are like astronauts.
Our human nature is to push into places that we don't know about.
Or go to the edge.
There are other worlds out there.
We don't know exactly what we're going to find.
When you want to find new frontiers.
I was truly astonished.
You just don't ever know.
Nova.
Wednesdays on NET1.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders. A place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Getting out of this bitter cold is always nice during the fall and winter months, but many people often spend too much time inside. We catch up with one Omaha park to see what they're doing to help keep kids active this holiday season.
Grass, seeds, acorns, nuts, berries, and insects.
All common things turkeys eat, but Brooklyn, Trevor, and Jill Finken, along with Ann Olish, didn't know that before their hike through Hummel Park.
Ready? Good? Okay.
Their trek through the woods was for the Little Gobbler event at the Hummel Park Nature Center and was designed to help them learn about and scavenge for all things turkey.
Do you see another sign anywhere?
But long before their walk even began, they spent their morning doing arts and crafts in the Hummel Park Nature Center.
We drew pictures of our hands, we wrote what we were thankful for. Now we're coloring pictures and we're just kind of exploring everything this place has to offer.
The Little Gobbler event is one of just a few special events being offered this winter at the Hummel Park Nature Center. Some of the other events include an owl prowl, a wintertainment day camp, and a Santa's sleigh ride to keep kids active and involved with nature throughout the winter. Recreational programmer at the Nature Center, Christine Steno, says it's extremely important for children to be active and involved with nature.
Here at Hummel, we really like to get kids out in nature. Sometimes I think today kids in society are just like really stuck inside a lot, or they play a lot of video games. So we really like to get the family encouraged to go outside and go on hikes or just be really involved in the community. So it's nice that we have events that bring the families in and get them outside.
For more information on how to get your little one involved at Hummel Park, you can visit cityofomaha.org/parks and click on the Hummel Park Nature Center link. The professional football team, the Omaha Mammoth, seems to be serving its purpose. According to an Omaha.com report, Omaha had 6 players get NFL workouts in recent weeks, and linebacker Mr. Alexander and receiver Eric Thomas left the team after signing with Tampa Bay and Indianapolis, respectively. Tonight's game against Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Bolts, was canceled and is being rescheduled as a championship game for possibly the week of Thanksgiving in New York. To follow the latest news on the Experimental League and the Omaha Mammoths, visit www.fxfl.com.
In the newsroom to share with us about a popular sport sweeping the Midwest is reporter Elizabeth Ryan.
Thank you, Melissa. Omaha is home to a world-renowned sports team, but which sport it is might surprise you. Lifting teammates in the air, leaping across the floor, and twirling a 14-inch baton, Sue's Stepperettes are determined to reach
just highest level possible for our sport.
Practicing 5 nights a week.
And the girls were like sisters.
And constantly rehearsing.
And they had blood, sweat, tears, for sure. I mean, there were injuries.
The Stepperettes received a once-in-a-lifetime bid.
And we competed for the World Championship, and we ended up winning. To put on a Team USA warm-up, it's like the Olympics, absolutely like the Olympics.
The Stepperettes' journey to the World Championship was even turned into a documentary.
It was cool having people like follow us around because it's interesting. Nobody really knows a lot about baton, so they just wanted to spread the word and get it out there.
The production company, Virtual Knowledge Incorporated, followed the Stepperettes.
From the start of our journey to Worlds and to the very end when we ended up being world champions. So luckily the documentary had a happy ending.
Twirl Girls will premiere right here on NET2, November 17th at 9 p.m. To learn more about the documentary and watch the trailer, head to twirlgirlsmovie.com. Back to you, Melissa.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Again, Twirl Girls will premiere on NET2 November 17th at 9 p.m.
The acclaimed Radio City Rockettes are dancing their way through the Midwest. The famous Kick Line has made their way to Omaha for the first time. The Radio City Christmas Spectacular begins tomorrow, November 13th, through Sunday, November 30th. Vice President of Tour Productions for Radio City expressed desire to play for the Orpheum Theater for years. The crew has expressed appreciation for the city of Omaha and has already fallen in love with the local restaurant, the Kitchen Table in downtown. For more information on tickets for the Radio City Christmas Spectacular, visit ticketomaha.com. That does it for this edition of the Omaha News. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with all new stories from our reporters.
From all of us here at the Omaha News, good night.
UNO Television gives students a chance to work in a real studio. Working on the TV crew, students get hands-on experience with lights, camera, and action. Working on a variety of shows gives students a leg up looking for jobs. In fact, many former crew members work at local stations. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for students to learn the science and art of TV production.